Hey everyone, welcome back to the Athlete Zone podcast. Today we have a special guest joining us, one of our favorite football players from Oregon State University. They've already made a name for themselves on and off the field. And today we're going to dive deeper into their journey, their brand, and the impact they've had beyond the game.
So our guest today is Salahadin, a standout running back from Oregon State. So we're going to talk a little bit about your journey from your early days, like your hometown, your high school, to becoming a D1 athlete. So let's get into it.
Yeah, first off, Salah, how's it going? How's Oregon State treating you?
Oregon State been treating me good. I think that it's a good community, great staff, good people around the campus. And I hadn't really had anything to complain about here. It's just everything been smooth.
So can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up and how you got into football?
So I grew up in G County or Galveston County, Texas, city called Lamarck. And I started playing football when I was 5 years old. We were playing Pee Wee ball. And it's actually funny. So right after my freshman year in Pee Wee, I took a year off because I didn't want to play football. And then I came back, and from there, it just stayed being a thing. But yeah, I was playing since I was 5.
Oh,
and
wow.
it just stuck with me, and I always just took it serious.
Wow, so you played all through high school?
Mm-hmm. All through middle school, different little league teams, all that.
Were you in the club at all? Like you 7-on-7? Or
Yeah. I played for a few 7-on-7 teams. I did it through my sophomore and junior year. Then senior year, I stopped playing. But yeah, 7-on-7 was fun for sure.
Awesome. And who would you say your biggest influences were growing up, like on and off the field?
First, I would say my dad, and then my brother. But like notable athletes, Michael Jordan, his winning mentality. Mm-hmm. And then I would say currently, like as far as just football, I like watching Jameer Gibbs and Lamar Jackson. So those people I would consider, I would put in that category.
Is there like something about them that
I like the running style of Lamar and Jameer, but also just like my dad and my brother just always being there, like having that foundation. My brother being older, so trying to be better than him, trying to be faster, stronger than him, that competition factor. And then just, I always tell people like my dad had all the answers to all the questions. So,
do you feel like having that support system is kind of what got you through to this point in your life?
Absolutely. It's never, they're a call away. It's anything I need, they're always there. Also my mom too. But yeah, it's the support from my family has been my greatest asset.
That's awesome. I feel like that's been a common theme that we've been learning about athletes is it has a lot to do with the support system.
Right, yeah, it's super important. Beyond sports, what were you passionate about as a kid?
Cars. I would consider myself a car enthusiast, heavy on cars. I think that's really the only thing outside of football I have a real big passion for.
Like what kind of cars?
Old school cars, anything in the JDM market. Even old Euro cars, anything, It's like right now I have a project, 1986 Buick Regal.
Oh, really? Yeah. How do you have time for that with
it's spring ball. I got a little bit of time. Also, it's a pricey hobby, so, you forced to take some time. But, it's just, something I'm really proud of and going to continue to work on. But yeah, cars is the biggest thing outside of sports. I think it's good to have something outside of sports, to kind of decompress and, sit in the garage and look at, something that you're proud of and want to work on.
I agree. I think that's a really good point. Growing up, being friends with a lot of athletes and knowing a lot of athletes here, I feel like one of their biggest struggles is once they finish their sport, they don't really know their identity anymore.
Yeah.
What's your dream car? If you have one, or a few. You probably have a lot.
Insert a clip of him driving off. Yeah.
I would say I can give you a dream car in the next 5 years.
Like a realistic dream car?
Yeah. I want a 70 Chevelle.
I'm going to act like I know what that is.
Me too, yeah.
Probably Chinese, but 632,
Such a
for
cool
the people who know, 632 big block. 33-inch Mickey Tompkins.
Completely other language right now.
Yeah. So that's my. I want to have that. I want to have that exact car done in 5 years.
I've heard other people say that, so I can imagine it's a pretty dreamy car.
Yeah.
Awesome. So maybe we can talk about the transition to college athletics from high school and growing up. What was the biggest adjustment you had to make when you got to Oregon State?
The consistency and having to have like discipline, because they're not holding your hand.
Right.
Like in high school, when you're that person at your school, you get a lot of people who might hold your hand or who might walk you through a lot of things. But in college, it's like, we grown and you're gonna be treated like you grown. So,
do you feel like it gives you a good structure though? Like
absolutely.
Because I feel like a lot of people, especially as freshmen, like college is hard and like being on your own is hard to figure out. But a lot of us don't have anything forcing us to keep it together.
Right.
Yeah,
but you don't really have a choice. You can't just take a day off because you're not feeling it.
Exactly. So that you just kind of build up like I got to do what I got to do. It's hard for sure. It's definitely hard.
Yeah. What's been your favorite moment so far in your collegiate career? Do you have one?
First time I scored, it was against Wazoo. First and only
Good team to
touchdown
score
that
against.
year. It was funny because when we got to the red zone, I thought my coach was going to take me out. And so he kept me in, and I was like, well, this is the chance right here. So I got in there. I didn't even have a celebration to do, honestly.
Used for shots.
Can't have like a dance or anything.
That's awesome.
I'd be performing.
And so,
I'd be like, I carried.
But it didn't really hit me in the moment. It was like after, where like people were posting it, be with football, like that's when it kind of hit me. And I was just like, yeah. So I think that's been so far number one.
What season was that in? I forgot to ask what grade you're in.
I'm a freshman.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it was a few months ago.
Okay.
Honestly.
So I can't begin to imagine, like, in high school, usually football is a pretty big sport.
Right.
You get like your fans, you're kind of just the cool kid, like the jock.
Yeah.
But when you come here, it's like you are almost like a small town celebrity.
Yeah,
like,
you
and
are.
not only that, it's like I remember my friend's dad would call and talk about football players on Oregon State's team. And I'm like, how do you know who that
so
is?
funny.
Like, I just saw him at the pool last week. Like, that is so weird. Like, that's got to be such a crazy experience, just becoming, like, some people idolize you guys in such a crazy way. It's
And the hype you feel like at the home games too, and like
the
scoring.
crowd.
Yeah,
It was a home game when you scored?
Yeah, it was home.
Oh, that must have felt
against
so
Wazoo, too.
Yeah.
I mean, go
Yeah.
Beavs. Like,
That's awesome.
It was it's 30,000 people in that stadium.
Yeah.
So, especially if they knew of me a little bit, and it had been times before I was supposed to score, something might have happened or I was close, and so for it to happen, it was definitely electric. It erupted in there.
Yeah.
and
that's
hearing
so
that
fun.
crowd roar, I feel like it's got to be crazy.
Yeah,
Makes you hungry for more.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why we get so hyped on third downs. It's to hype you up. It's to give you that adrenaline to go.
That's going to be so fun. So are you pretty, I mean, the team's huge, but do you get pretty close with them? Like, I mean, you guys go through these crazy moments together. It's got to be a bond.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably 105 of us.
Oh,
I would say, I think I know all of the names on the team.
Wow.
And I mean, we spend a lot of time in the hot tubs or the cold tubs or, our locker room pods and stuff like that, or just working out in the weight room. Like it just happens real natural. Like you're gonna know guys, you're gonna make connection with guys. You might be in the same class, or your tutoring hours, and you just spending a lot of time really getting to know guys. And so when you win together, it's good. When you lose together, it's good too, because you holding somebody else accountable who want to be held accountable.
Yeah.
So that bond
It's
is
just such a
strong.
different experience from like the normal college experience.
For sure.
Would you say you're closer with the other running backs like the most? 'Cause you spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, and plus the running back position, you're kind of like it's not forced, but it just happens so natural that you're close because we really all need each other. Like other running backs have certain skill sets that you might not have or don't have yet, and you can learn You know, no matter where they are in the depth chart, like you can learn so much from each guy.
Yeah.
From their past. Like Jake went for 2,000 yards in high school. I didn't go for 2,000. So it's, you know, it's stuff like that. Like he went for 2K.
Yeah.
It's something I can learn from him, you know?
Yeah.
So
You all like build each other up together instead of, I feel like, I don't know, I watch like TV shows like All American. I feel like they're like battling head to head for positions. You know, it's like fighting.
I know in the running back room, it's friendly competition because the position is so demanding. You know? We got to do so much. We take on a lot. Yeah. And to see your brother go out there and, you know what I'm saying, eat on the football field, that feels good, you know? Because we all backs. We all know what it's like. We all know how hard it is. So when somebody else eating, you want them to continue to eat because you know you can probably eat. So
that actually is perfect for our next question, which is how have your teammates influenced you since joining the team?
It's funny, when I came in, like a lot of people didn't really know I was young, and so you know they were treating me as if I was an older guy, and I was picking up on a lot of those things. I learned so much, and so like their ways and stuff like that had an influence on me. And it's just always been good vibes, you know, guys who's been in college for so long. You know, it's times where I'm like, why am I not in the game or this and that? And they just kind of be like, look, I done been here a while and I didn't have to be patient. And you need to be patient too. So that influence on just kind of being able to like teach me how to just sit back and learn and watch, you know, and be patient definitely has helped a lot for sure.
Yeah. Is there one person who you feel like has out here influenced you the most? You know, you're moving away from your family, your normal support system. Like, do you feel like there's one person who really stuck out to you?
I mean, I would call on a few people. Definitely Hank, the other running back in the room. Coach Bray, I mean, himself.
Shout out.
Yeah. And then Jam, who was there last year. Those three really kind of had a big impact on me for sure. And then the running backs coaches, obviously Ford and Coach Pig. Shout out to Coach Ford. It's been great. It's been great with those guys for sure.
Wow. Awesome. So let's get into talking about your wonderful merch that you have on. How has building your brand helped you both on and off the field?
I think it comes like when you know your brand, you carry yourself on and off the field differently, you know, like some of the things you watch what you say, not in a, you know, fearful way, but just like you conduct yourself with a lot of professionalism. And I think that's perfect, you know, especially me being young. Like I already have that experience, you know, I already have that like mindset. And so definitely like, you know, at the end of the day, like I am a brand. I am Salahadin Allah, you know, and that means a lot, you know. It's not just a person. It's Athlete Zone. It's Oregon State. It's being a football player. It's everything that I represent. And so
I feel like that was really well said. Like it's not just on the field anymore. It's off the field too.
Right.
Yeah.
So what role does Athlete Zone play in helping you bring your brand to life?
Well, I think it's been easy working with them, especially since they're in Corvallis. The shirt I have on was printed, like I actually printed it myself. So yeah, they've been there from the start, day one. So yeah.
How does it feel when you see fans wearing your merch?
It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of support to type in your credit card info and buy something with somebody else's name on it.
It really does.
You know, that you might barely know. You know,
I mean, it takes me a lot to buy merch from like a famous person.
Yeah.
So like it says a lot.
Yeah. Some of these people, like I probably have only shook their hand after a game or something, took a picture, you know, and when they see my merch go up, they automatically buy or they save up the money to buy it. I think that's huge.
Yeah, that's
because, you know, we all know, like we all probably have bought merch and we were thinking like, do I want to spend this money on somebody else's image, you know? But for people to do that, it just shows like the most care for them and support and selflessness.
Yeah, I think it's a crazy concept that like you touch lives like that, you know? And this is just the beginning. There's so much more to come from it and so much more room to grow that you can really influence a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. What's one thing you wish more people understood about supporting an athlete?
Everything matters, and all the little things mean so much to us, even if it's the smallest amount of money or coming out to a game, like the absolute smallest things mean so much. And I think that people might think that, the little things don't mean as much because we get so many large things, but, it really makes the difference. Like, the little things mean everything to us, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, this has been a great conversation. Before we wrap up, though, where can people follow you and support your brand? Like, what is your Instagram username?
Story of Salah 2. Story of SALAH 2. And I have a few links on Athlete Zone.
Yeah,
also follow Athlete Zone.
Get your merch.
Shout out
New
to
graphic.
them. Shout out all the other Oregon State athletes and the other athletes at different schools. Support everybody. We need it for sure.
Yeah, look up Salahadin Allah on Athlete Zone to grab your merch today.
Support him in his NIL journey.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And thank the fans, of course.
Awesome.